Hi everyone, it's your boy Zach, and one of the things I love about working in the yard is like the very literal life lessons that are just like always in front of you. Just like how weeds can grow overnight. Like these freaking weeds. This is like 4 inches tall with multiple branches on it. This thing did not exist yesterday. Where did you come from? This is crazy. So I just planted some new seeds. Turned out the old seeds that I was planting were dead from being left out on the porch and frying and freezing in a bag for a year. So I bought some new seeds, planted them. A lot of rain, very excited, but it's going to take time. Even with the perfect conditions, it's like maybe 3 to 7 days I'll see little seedlings. And then if I don't forget, because man, you can forget for like 2 days and they'll just die. I'll get some really, really weak, skinny grass shoots, and then just like, honestly, it's like a couple months of tending it to get some real grass. Meanwhile, a dozen weeds popped up literally overnight. It's crazy. So things are better. Things are a lot better, even in a terrible week. I've always kind of found it like when you say like, everything's terrible. I remember in Germany there was like, the typical thing you say to a cashier. They'll say alles gut, and you say no, alles gut. I remember one time it was early, and the woman says alles gut, and the guy goes alles scheiße, and she goes oh. Like, it's just a shocking thing to say because you're just supposed to say all is good no matter what. But this was definitely an all is scheiße week. It was bad. It was really bad. It was like not even being a whiner, just even like a resilient person is like, what? I mean, they just had a guy in Dallas get his head cut off, and the guy with the machete and the guy who cut the head off kicked the head into the parking lot, and it just rolled around and he picked it up. Like, there's some just really horrifying stuff, but things are good. It's so weird. Like, I actually feel really good about this horrible week because I've seen the way that people react, and I remember when it was differently. Like, I just read this thread from like a couple days ago, and a guy was talking about the Gretchen whatever deal, and he's like, okay, I know nothing's going to happen because Gretchen's protected, and they're probably going to rally behind her, and it's like none of that happened. There's still a lot of people stuck in 2018 thinking, but it isn't 2018, and nothing really works like it did in 2018. It's a really good way to get clicks and views on a YouTube video, but it's not the world. It's not how the world works. So I've been seeing all these signs, and I'm just like, am I crazy? Or like freaking Heather Antos posts like, I think it's weird to celebrate anyone dying. It's like, you wouldn't have said that in 2018, 2020. This is a very different. Stephen King issued an apology retraction about the thing I said in my video yesterday, where after, some lunatic started celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, then people started saying, like, why are you celebrating? Like, he just seems like a generic Ned Flanders conservative guy. And they're like, well, he went around telling people that gays should be stoned to death. It's like, that's not why you were celebrating. You guys just like murder. So then some people, like, Stephen King's like, this guy preached stoning gays to death, right? And then he got corrected, which is very easy because, like I said, it was literally one time in one debate. And so the next day he's like, I want to apologize. Charlie Kirk did not espouse stoning gays to death. He was just making a point about how you can cherry pick the Bible, which is what I said yesterday. And I was like, that would never have happened. And then I hear that this Gretchen lunatic, he has a deal with one of the Wachowski siblings who are both trans right now. And so I go to look it up, and it's adaptation. Well, first of all, they usually present it as like, this is going to be made. It's like, no, it's just being developed. And it's about a book called Manhunt, which is about a bunch of trans lunatics hunting straight people. Like, you can't make this shit up. And here's the deal. That also might have been greenlit in 2018. But right now, there's no fucking way in hell. And it's just it's demonstrably better, even while there are spikes of things looking much worse. I saw that, who was that? The guy who sashayed out of Snow White. That guy. He was with the stabbing on the light rail, not a subway. He was trying to make it some sort of race war, except for, in no surprise to me, turns out that guy was just crazy, and his last victim was his, wait for it, black sister. So no, he wasn't going around murdering white people. He just is a schizophrenic. And the other thing that was very encouraging is I'm on TikTok all the time, and my TikTok feed is very black because I find black women very attractive, and I have more of a black sense of humor. So it's just a bunch of black guys and black girls in my For You page. There was not a single one of them saying it's like, yeah, you know, it's our turn or some shit like that. They were all as horrified as non-black people were. They were equally, it was just a basic humanity thing. And that's what I was saying about Rich Johnson when he decided to bury the lead literally and just be like, oh, you know, just things just, they get canceled. There's no reason. Shut the fuck up. This is a fucking lunatic celebrating a murder. It is beyond the pale. And I didn't see anyone defending him for doing that. In fact, it's been a couple of the usual suspects, you know, Alex DeCampi. I've said this before, I believe. I believe Alex DeCampi is one of the very few actually evil people. Evil gets thrown around a lot. Most people are uninformed, or they're dumb, or they have some mental problem. This is a woman who literally craves death and destruction, and she provides no value to the world. Like, Alex DeCampi is an actually evil person. But there's not a lot of them. And I mean, if this would have happened, if all this stuff, the Gretchen thing would have happened in 2018, 2020, Scott Snyder would have gotten roped in and peer pressured, you know, and be castigating anyone who, you know, wanted Gretchen fired. Now, he's totally quiet. Everyone's just kind of like, hey, you know, thoughts and prayers to Charlie Kirk's family. Turns out, I was going to say I got something wrong. I was speaking tongue-in-cheek. I said he was a debate me bro. And the closed captioning changed that to debate Negro. Delightful. But somebody was like, oh, he was much more than that. He created, I think it was TP USA. It was like a movement for conservative college people. I just see TP toilet paper. Like, I'm a critic. I'm criticizing stuff all the time. So even in death, I'm like, I would have chosen a different, you know, name for the organization. But apparently it was a huge deal. It also looks like he was like just kind of a good guy. I found him annoying. I found the debate me bro. That's for the closed captioning, so it understands. The debate me bro. You're 30 and you're debating college kids. Come on. But apparently it was a lot more than that. But yeah, I mean, Heather Antos saying not to celebrate murder, Stephen King retracting and apologizing. The one aspect of nuance for this is I did find myself getting bothered of, I think there's some sort of movement to like catalog everyone who kind of did like a Gretchen-like thing. But then I looked at some of them, and some of them were just people who just didn't like Charlie Kirk. They weren't even really celebrating. They were just like, I didn't like this guy. I don't think you deserve to get fired just for not liking him. I think if you're clearly a psychotic lunatic whose entire social media feed and the books you write are just celebrating murder and death. Like I said, I call these people serial killers without conviction. They have the minds of serial killers, but they're just fucking lazy. But yeah, Heather Antos giving a normal take. Stephen King retracting. Scott Snyder not doing as he's told. I'm sure, you know, Alex DeCampi wants to order them. It's a different time. It's just a different time. But we are seeing these spikes. So as things get better, the crazies are going to get crazier. So that's one of those, just one of those things about life that you will notice. And also, they might not be that much crazier. They're just kind of noticing. You're noticing it more because people in general, even people on the left, are acting more normal. So horrible things did happen this week, either happened this week or were kind of discovered this week. They released the footage of Arena being stabbed, but the way people are reacting and the way people are not doing things the way they did in 2018. Like I said, I saw that prediction from that one guy, and it was a reasonable prediction for 2018, 2019, 2020. It was not reasonable for 2025. Things are very different. They are getting better. And so even in a legitimately awful week, there is definitely things to be excited about. And Peacemaker was pretty good. I didn't like the last two episodes, but this week's Peacemaker was pretty good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.